Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin is following at the moment the projected wave count, the suggested wave count that we discussed in the previous video and also in previous updates. Let me take you through it. I only really want to focus here on the smaller time frame because everything else was discussed in the previous video, including the daily chart. So feel free to check it out if you're interested. It was just only done earlier today. At the moment, the idea is that a fourth wave has started. Okay, that here on Wednesday, when the top was formed, the local top at 66,150, wave 5 of C of 3 has topped, and we're now in a wave 4 to the downside. The idea is that this is an A, B, C structure, and we could currently be working on the A, B, C structure in wave A. An A wave itself can be a 3-wave move or a 5-wave move. This here clearly has a 3-wave shape. Earlier today, I sent a signal through on our Discord server, which was, early today. I think it was just before I made the last video. That obviously we had a small trend line on the chart. The break of this red trend line indicated the start of the B wave. So we had a B wave rally into resistance. The resistance area was defined here. You might see it when I zoom in a bit, between 65,000 and 66K, pretty much 65.7K. And the idea was that from here, a C wave down could start. Now that is still, the levels haven't changed. I've changed the count a little bit in that I've moved this ABC structure into a larger A wave, which we're going to take a look at the live chart. But the idea was we have an ABC structure. In a B wave, we can never really trust the fib levels, but even better if they are being respected, because it could easily have been that this B wave overshoots, but even then the overall assumption wouldn't necessarily have changed that this is a wave 4. Basic thesis is that this wave 4 has started. And sometimes we just need to be prepared for high B waves. You can't predict them, but you have to prepare for them. So that was one of the updates I sent through earlier today here on Discord. Basically, price action from yesterday's low is corrective and at the moment confirms the thesis that wave 4 is unfolding. I sent lots of other updates through. If you're interested, you can check out the Gold membership. You get updates about Solana, XRP, Bitcoin, Arrow, Say, Render, and so on. All of that covered. Also coins that are not covered on YouTube here, like Arrow, plus others. Pyth, for example, was updated today as well. You find the link in the description. Okay, so what have I changed actually? Well, I've changed that this ABC structure is now part of a larger A wave. I find that more trustworthy. Now, does it change anything? Not really, because the support area is the same. The resistance area didn't change, and that's really what matters. I just wanted to prepare everybody for the idea and potential that this here is not the entire wave 4. In fact, we might see a larger ABC structure form here. My idea is currently that there's a good chance to move into that orange support region over the coming days. But we are now forming an ABC structure. Now, if this really is the C wave, which I assume, then there is the next support at 63,140. We've nearly reached it already. So I already posted that earlier today. If anybody's shorting this from the resistance area, be aware that support basically starts at 63,140. But also we have the trend line, which looked like it's going to break. Well, it's not broken yet, but it could break. If this is a C wave, ideally we get to the 100% extension of the initial A wave. The A wave and the C wave, they often have the same length. And that level points to 62,856. So we're not there yet. No? But we could get there. Okay, that would be the expectation until the market proves that this larger B wave is already unfolding. For now, I would say it seems a little more likely that we are still working here on wave C of A. But the trend line shouldn't be underestimated. I mean, price tried to break it, but we're currently still holding it. It's a bit short, that C wave, however. I would prefer a little lower to get to the 100% extension. Now, we don't have to get there, but it's just when we talk about probabilities, in most cases, the C wave would at least test that area. And yeah, so that means in the very short term, We're watching for a bounce in wave B. Maybe we go a little bit lower. It would be preferred, but we're not talking about just a little bit, from maybe 63.5K down to, sort of 63,140 to 62,850. I would prefer that, but we've now already done an ABC structure. Yeah, the C wave might get one more low, but the main move is done. The resistance area caused a rejection. And if we now talk about a larger B wave, okay, what would the resistance area be for the larger B wave? I always have to say, we need to be prepared for overshooting B waves. They can overshoot, they don't have to, you can't really predict it. But if it overshoots, then it's usually the main B wave. Let me just add the relevant resistance levels. What do I mean with main B wave? Well, it is, if you have an ABC structure, the initial A wave, that B wave often doesn't overshoot, but the main one, which is the larger degree. So again, it doesn't have to overshoot. I prefer if it doesn't, because it always creates a mess, but cryptos like these overshooting B waves. So if we now move up, resistance starts at 64,715. I'm going to show you the entire resistance area. Doesn't mean we have to get there necessarily, but it also doesn't mean we have to overshoot. Absolutely not, but I want to give you all the levels to watch. For now, there isn't even evidence that that B wave has started, but I want to show that resistance area. Probably later today, I'll take this micro resistance off, to which the price already reacted, because we have an ABC structure down. And yeah, in the very short term, I think the focus just needs to be on this trend line here. If it can actually lead to a buy reaction, which would indicate that wave B is running already, but I would prefer we go a little lower. Now you can see, I mean, the low was 63,370. The support starts at 63,140. Not quite there yet, but maybe we don't get there because of the trend line. Again, I would prefer we do, but sometimes we don't get it. Now, what would be the first signal that the larger B has started? My view is a first signal would be a break above the 50% fib level of the decline that we've seen today. And that would be a break above the 50% fib level, 64,230. So getting above that level could be a first indication that the larger B has started. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.